Robert Charles Wilson enraptured readers with Spin, a book that won science fiction's highest honor, the coveted Hugo Award. The sequel, Axis, is his continuation of this ambitious galactic saga. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you.
What story does Axis tell?
We've been given access to another planet, not by spaceship, but by sea. There's a kind of portal in the Indian Ocean through which you can sail literally to another planet, an inhabitable planet. Axis tells the story of what happens when we try to settle that planet, try to understand why this portal has been put in place for us.
For those who haven't read it, can you tell us what happens in the book that preceded Axis?
Spin tells the story of the present-day Earth when it's overtaken by what appears at first to be a catastrophe. The stars disappear one night. The Earth itself is surrounded by a kind of barrier. No one understands why this has happened or who's done this or what we can do about it. Spin tells the story of the human reaction to that crisis. At the end of Spin, this portal is opened to the new world. We're given literally a second home, a second lease on life, but again, for purposes not our own. And it's a process that's been put in place by entities with whom we cannot communicate, and who show no interest in explaining to us why they're doing this to us and what they want from us.
Who or what are the Hypotheticals?
They're called the Hypotheticals because we can only guess at their purposes. The best guess that people have arrived at is that they are a galaxy-spanning network of self-replicating machines that are in constant contact with one another, constantly networking, constantly evolving, becoming perhaps a kind of massive intelligence that occupies not the space of a human skull, but the space of the galaxy itself. The question that remains is, can we interact with them in any meaningful way? Can we communicate with them? Can we, if not, can we at least divine their purposes? Can we bring ourselves to their attention in some fashion that would cause them to alter what they're doing to us? In other words, can we cry for help? And if we do, will they listen to us? Are they capable of listening to us? What fascinates me about Spin and the sequel Axis and the third book yet to be written called Vortex is that it places our lives, the lives of people more or less like you and me, in this much larger context which is normally hidden from us simply because we live too briefly to see it unfold.
How are religion, cults, and the concept of a higher being explored in Axis?
It becomes plain over the course of these two books, and especially in Axis, that what we're dealing with is, in a sense, higher being. So we have to come to some kind of arrangement with that force. The question becomes, do you defy it? Do you worship it? Do you deny its existence? Do you despise it?
Stephen King has praised your writing as sci-fi that doesn't know it's sci-fi. In what ways does Axis continue to transcend the genre?
I happen to be in love with the genre. My goal is not to transcend it. My goal, if I have one in this regard, is to bring it to a wider audience. The strange and the outre and the science fictional elements are there in full force, but they're seen through human eyes, and I think that's what makes the difference. If science fiction can do anything, it can encourage us to take a direct look at what's in the future, even if we do it through the indirect approach of fiction. I like to say that the apocalypse isn't the apocalypse if it's experienced strictly by Captain Future.
Thank you very much for your time, Bob.
You're very welcome.
In Axis, Robert Charles Wilson tells a story that not only probes into the reaches of space and time, but also explores the human psyche, the impact of people on their environment, and the bonds we share that make humanity worth saving.